Hello everyone. It's James again. And today I want to talk about something very important. And that is how the narcissist puppet masters that run society have ruined, literally and on purpose ruined how people have relationships in today's day and age. And it's really simple. They destroy basic trust between people. You see, we know the only individual we should be trusting is God, Jesus Christ. Because no matter what, He will never let us down. And He will never leave us. Even when times are hard. Jesus doesn't have an agenda when He speaks to us in our heart. He doesn't have us do things that will cause us harm or that is bad for us. He always wants the best for us. But people can and will fail you. But I believe that failure rate is rapidly increasing and it's being induced and manufactured as a normal part of society to make it show up in nearly every avenue you go down in life. You see, I look at my growing up years along with a great many of us here in the narcissistic abuse community. And a great many of us grew up with a golden child brother or sister. And in most cases, not all, but in most cases, this golden child sibling becomes a narcissist as well. Almost a carbon copy of their narcissist parent. But how do they get that way? Well, there is a lot of emotional trauma that goes on. And in a lot of cases it's just them seeing the emotional trauma that happens to you, the scapegoat. And they are willing to go over to the dark side, so to speak. In a way to avoid going without the fake love of the narcissist parent. But besides all of that, one of the key ways they turn this golden child sibling into hating, literally hating you, the scapegoat, is to pump into their mind that they cannot trust you. You see, the narcissist parent knows you know what is going on is wrong. And they will do whatever they have to do to discredit you to anyone and everyone that will listen. And as I've said before many times, the narcissist parent knows if you and your siblings get along and are helping one another, eventually you all will develop a plan to help yourself out of your toxic home of origin. Helping each other out each step of the way. And the narcissist cannot have this at all. So they have to sabotage this possibility before it can even happen. So what they do is they sow distrust. Especially with the golden child. Because that's the one in the house that listens to everything the narcissist parent has to say. And this narcissist parent will make up stories about you that aren't true to your own brother or sister. And tell them they can't share this story with anyone. It might be that you so-called talk bad about your brother or sister at every turn. Which never happened. But your narcissist parent will lie and say to your golden child brother and sister and say that it happens all of the time. Why? To get them to distrust you. And then as you go on throughout your life, and you deal with one narcissist after another and you realize they are nothing but information gatherers. Narcissists never ever have genuine conversations. A great many of them develop tactics to get people to confess personal information about their lives. And the narcissists will do this through so-called jokes, fake overly nice treatment, and passive-aggressive behaviors, sweet mean cycles, and so-called joking around with you in front of others. You see, take a look back at some things a narcissist friend or coworker or someone you were dating asked you. And ask yourself, would that ever come up in your mind to ask someone? And if you were to think about it clearly, the answer would be a likely no. You see, you are having conversations with people because you are truly interested in them as people and you are just trying to develop a friendship. Meanwhile, others are working hard to gain your information so they can somehow use it as leverage. And I believe that the narcissist puppet masters make things in his world harder than it needs to be on purpose. So they can create scapegoats and golden children on a massive worldwide scale. And in the process the scapegoats eventually start to see patterns and stop trusting people altogether. And golden children think everyone is a data collector just like they are. So they don't trust anyone as well. And this is all done by design. Why? Because the narcissists that are running the show know if people actually come together and help one another. These narcissists that are running the show will no longer be running the show. You see, these evil people get off on the misery and pain of others. So much so they manufacture this pain in society. Just like your narcissist parent or parents manufactured the pain and misery in your household. It's difficult when you know or at least suspect certain people are having a conversation with you, hoping to get something they can use against you, or something they can mistreat you over. But this is what those that run society want. Everyone looking for leverage over another. Instead of peace and love, they want people to remain alone without a full and big family. You see, a great many that were abused narcissistically isolate themselves because they've been used again and again. And they look back on the conversations they had with those that were supposed to care about them or those that seemed to want to be their friend. And they realized it was all a big lie. They were just literally talking to an entity, gathering every word and sentence they said, and analyzed these words, looking and scanning for anything that could be used against them. This is also another reason why narcissists ghost people. One reason is they found another supply. A big fish of a supply. And they quickly forgot about you and moved on to this big supply source. Or they knew you had a caring heart and they knew you were enjoying the fact you were making a friend. And narcissists love to take you up to the top of the mountain, so to speak. And then without warning, metaphorically speaking, push you off. And they do that by being such a great friend. And then ghosting you without a trace. And they do this because they know it will cause hurt and pain to this person that was genuine. And they, the narcissist, even though they are no longer in your life, relish of the pain they believe you are feeling from this sick and twisted experience. For them it's still a form of supply. And some narcissists will ghost because the data they gathered from your interaction was boring to them, and added up to nothing after they thought about it. So because they weren't getting what they hoped for, they moved on by the way of ghosting you. Now when a narcissist ghosts you, it's a blessing for you in disguise. Because had this person stayed in your life, they could have caused you a lot of damage. So be glad they are gone. But what happens? And I believe the societal narcissists are happy about. You shut down as a person and you stop having any level of trust for anyone. And they know when that happens, people can't or won't come together and help one another. Because they know when that happens, the masses will realize they no longer need these evil societal narcissists and they will lose all of their power. And they don't want that. Because they are just like the narcissist that raised you or that you dated or married. They will hang on to the power they believe they have until the bitter end. Now I don't say all of this to say that you should stop trusting people altogether or you should start trusting people more. Because I believe we need to be careful and cautious. I'm just acknowledging the state of society. No more. No less. With that said, I do hope your day is blessed. And until next time, bye for now. And be good to yourself.